All right, guys, one last video for a spring-themed collection of fragrances. I've got some cheapies here for you under $100. We're going to talk about them coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you about fragrances to wear this spring. Mostly a men's collection of fragrances, and there are a few unisex offerings here, but these are perfect for spring wear. And we're going to start off with some fragrances that are closer to the $100 mark, but a lot of the fragrances are going to be under $50. And some fragrances were recently launched and they have now just started appearing at the discounters, and I wanted to highlight them for you as I think they're perfect for spring wear. So we're going to the house of LALIQUE. First off, it's ENCRE Indigo, this one right here. I found it online at Walmart for $89 for 100 ml. So it is under $100 finally, because this was around $150, somewhere around there when it first launched. And it's a different take on the ENCRE series. When we had ENCRE Noir, now we have the Indigo, and they're focusing on vetiver with tea this time rather than vetiver with other notes. So there's a smoothness about this one, but still kind of smoky with the vetiver and also the black tea that's in here. But there's a lot of spices, leathery touches, earthy touches, fruitiness from the citruses, not necessarily like apples or something. And then of course some musks thrown in as well. I really like this one. Definitely a great solid offering from the house of LALIQUE. ENCRE Indigo is one of the latest for men from this house, and definitely worth checking out for spring. All right, next up we're going to the house of ZARA, and we've got a fragrance for 100 ml for $46. And I had actually bought this while I was in Japan and Tokyo, as they have these special stickers on the back of their bottles. But this was on clearance and I snatched it up for the price because it turned out to be around $15. But suggested retail is 100 ml for $46. So it's basically taking the original vibrant leather and adding an oudi touch to it. So for me, when I wear this one in comparison to the original vibrant leather, the juiciness has been toned down a bit, but amplified with that oudi woodiness of that Western oud note that they've thrown in here. But it's got a lot of bergamot. There's kumquat here. There is apples for a bit of fruitiness and some aromatic spices and smoky touches as well. I think it's solid if you're looking for something like vibrant leather or Aventus in this case, and you want a bit of a substance, some depth to it with that oudi woodiness. Check out Vibrant Leather from the house of ZARA. It's oud vibrant leather, by the way. Next, we're going to the house of Calvin Klein. It's CK1 Essence. I actually reviewed this late last year and I couldn't find any discounts on it. Now it's selling for 100 ml for $41, so discounted. This is a unisex offering, by the way. So far, we've only spoken about men's fragrances. And as I mentioned, we've got several unisex targeted offerings in here, but totally masculine enough. But this is definitely taking the original fragrance, which has gotten watered down now, and it's been intensified. It does come off a bit metallic and sharp as well, a bit screechy, but if you're looking for something a bit more potent than the original CK1, which launched 30 years ago, you definitely will be happy with this one. But it's got the tea notes, it's got the aromatics, it's got the citruses, and a lot of musk and sandalwood as well. It smells great. You will notice a bit of a screechy, synthetic, metallic quality about it. But once you get past that, I think it'll remind you of the original, but a more substantial version of the original. Then I'm throwing in something brand new I've never spoken about on the channel. Recently found a deal on it. This is Musk MALAKI from the house of CHOPARD. This is also a unisex offering, currently found for 100 ml around $45. For me, it becomes very, very powdery, and musks generally go powdery as well, but this also has a bit of spices and a little bit of a leathery effect under there as well. But it's a lot of musk, leather, cedar, black pepper. If you like powdery fragrances, you're gonna like this one. And again, some people have rules of not wearing certain types of fragrances. If powdery fragrances will get to you during the warm months, then probably stay away from this one. But I like the combo of a bit of a leathery undertone with the powdery musky effect that's in here. I think it's pretty solid and definitely unisex. So it's Musk MALAKI from the house of CHOPARD. You know, I've got a collection of CHOPARD MALAKI fragrances. I don't know if you guys are interested in for me to do the entire range. Let me know if you're interested and I'll put it on the calendar. And then go into the house of CARON. This is Amèmois comme je suis. Amèmois comme je suis. This came out during the pandemic. It's a really great take on a vetiver fragrance. Vetiver fragrances tend to go masculine. This is a men's offering, men's targeted. I think a woman can totally pull these fragrances off, by the way. But currently selling for 100 ml, $85. What I like about this one, it's vetiver nicely blended with hazelnut, so there's a nutty effect in here. Of course, there's grapefruit, tobacco, tonka, and ginger, so you've got a bit of the zinginess, a bit of the kind of leafy tobacco qualities in here. But for me, what's running the show is vetiver and hazelnuts, so you've got that kind of grassy earthiness of the vetiver with the cool nuttiness of the hazelnuts. And I never thought they would work together. They really do work wonderfully together. So that's Amèmois comme je suis from the house of CARON. But then we're going to the house of HERMES. This is H24 Herbe Vive. This one right here, it came out early last year, and it's become my favorite flanker in the H24 series. What I like about it is the cooling effect it provides when you're wearing it. Now it's selling for 100 ml for $81. But what they have in here is fresh herbal bouquet, pear granita, and fizz cool or cool. And this note is more of like aromatics, minty aromatics thrown in with this ice cold fruity pear granita. And then you've got another dosage of aromatics. So it's a lot of herbal aromatic notes. It's quite spicy, but very, very fresh and very cooling. The cooling effect is definitely prominent here. Out of the three flankers in the H24 series, the Herbe Vive is the most cooling, but I like that combo of aromatics and herbal touches along with the fruitiness of the pear granita. So that's Herbe Vive from the house of H24. Then we're going to the house of Narciso Rodriguez. It's for him Vetiver Musk. Once again, another vetiver fragrance, but a musky one at that. It's very crisp here. There's a major crispness about this musky fragrance. Totally different in comparison to the Musk Malaki, where it's very powdery. And even though for him, Musk, Vetiver Musk is powdery, but it's not as powdery as that one. But there's a lot of aromatics here, currently selling for about 100 ml for $63. It's cypress, nutmeg, cardamom, musk, bourbon, geranium, red seaweed, vetiver, lavender, cedar, and patchouli. It's a really, really great fragrance. Not my all-time favorite, but I feel like it's perfect for summertime, especially warm weather or warm days in the spring months, because there's this really nice cooling effect with this one as well. Not as much as the Herbe Vive, but it does, come off that way. But in the end, it's a lot of vetiver with a lot of musky notes. Along the way, there's spiciness and aromatics coming in as well. So that's Vetiver Musk from the house of Narciso Rodriguez in the For Him series. We're going to the house of Nikos next, and this is Sculpture Parfum. I've been recommending this one because I really enjoy this fragrance. It smells super amazing. It's a kind of a fresh take on an amber fragrance. The original has been around for 30 years, I believe 30 years. Yeah, 30 years. And then this launched a couple years ago, and I think it's been at the discounters for about $35 for 100 ml. It's a parfum concentration, but it doesn't come off super heavy and dense. You can wear it in the warmer months as well and smell really great with the ambery touches along with the citruses as well. It's got notes of tonka, amber, bergamot, vanilla, orange blossom, lily of the valley, lavender, coriander, and geranium. So spices, aromatics, floral notes, and of course citruses and amber. Really great DNA, I think. And then of course the parfum is super awesome. So that's Nikos Sculpture Parfum. Let me know if you're familiar with that. Then we're going to the house of Ferragamo. It's bright leather. And what I like about bright leather is the pulpy juiciness that's in here with a really smooth suede-like leather. Currently selling for 100 ml for $51. So it's a leather you can wear when it's warm outside. It's bright, and they're utilizing something called white leather. So it comes off a bit more pure and smooth and easier to wear in comparison to something really super strong. But there's white leather, bergamot, mandarin, basil, rosemary, cedar, grapefruit, patchouli, and musk. So in the end, it's kind of a leather, smooth, suede, soft leather laced with citruses and aromatics and spices and woods. It doesn't come off too heavy, and as I said, you can wear this in the springtime and smell great. So Bright Leather from the house of Ferragamo. This next fragrance, maybe leave it for cooler days, but this is Ralph Lauren's Polo Oud. 125 ml currently for $63. Great price, I think. And at one time, you can find us at the discounters. You can. I think they did a great job with this one. There's traces of the original Polo Green here, but it's a totally different fragrance. And this one, especially since it's 125 ml for $63, so you get a better deal with a lot more juice in comparison to some of the other fragrances. So it's oud wood, incense, rose, cinnamon, orange flower, pink pepper, clary, gaiac wood, patchouli, and vetiver. Again, you do pick up traces of the original Polo Green here, but I wouldn't call this a flanker of that one. It's pretty much its own thing, and the oud in here is also pretty westernized oud. It's an easy to wear oud, but if you're not familiar or used to wearing oud, it might come off a bit off. But for me, I found it very easy, but very enjoyable with warm spices and floral touches, some ambery touches, and of course, the woodiness of the oud. That's Polo Oud from the house of Ralph Lauren, currently 125 ml for $63, as I said. Next, going to the house of Karl Lagerfeld, another new fragrance that I bought here. I'm going to feature a lot of these fragrances in a haul video soon, a cheapy haul video, but I wanted to pull them for this video. But this is from the house of Karl Lagerfeld. This is Hamburg Ulster. This one right here, currently 100 ml for $21. So very, very inexpensive. Once again, we've got a very fresh aromatic fragrance and also leaning green here as well. It's quite juicy with the citruses. You've got mint, lavender, and sage. You've got mandarin here, along with a beautiful, gorgeous freesia note, along with woods, moss, and musk in the base. So it has a bit of substance, but for me, it's uber fresh. So save this for the warmer days in spring, and you'll be very invigorated with this very fresh, aromatic, juicy, citrusy fragrance that leans green. So this is Karl Lagerfeld's Hamburg Ulster, 100 ml for $21. Really, really cheap. A great cheapie, I should say. Then moving on to another unisex fragrance. Here's Angel Schlesser's Sensual Patchouli, this one right here. So I've been a big fan of this one. I really love the way it smells. I like the combination of the peppery notes and also the floral notes of the jasmine with the overdose of sort of green-leaning patchouli. This is around 100 ml for around $50, and it's a great take on a patchouli that doesn't break the bank. And it smells fantastic. I like the contrast of the patchouli with the jasmine, but it's overdosed with a lot of peppery pink pepper notes. So the combination is great. It becomes very earthy. It's aromatic for sure, a bit floral. And then of course you've got this really spiciness that has a great trail, I think. And even though it's not super potent and beast mode, it has good lingering power because it is patchouli in the end. And one of my favorite notes with the greatest sillage that you can get. Wear this and I think you'll get some compliments because it smells great and it'll leave a nice trail behind you. So it's Angel Schlesser's Sensual Patchouli, 100 ml for $49. So it's about $50. Next, going to the house of Ajmal. This is Vision. Yeah, this is one of the fragrances that I did enjoy from that collection of cheapy Ajmal fragrances haul that we did. This does remind me of a fragrance by the house of Paul Smith in the green bottle because it's a violet leaf fragrance. And sadly, I recently found out that Paul Smith Men, the green bottle, is not available at the discounters anymore, which is sad because I bought so many of those bottles and gifted them for around 100 ml for $30. But this is a great alternative, even though it's much cheaper take on a fragrance like that. It's also very synthetic. I think it'll do the job done and job nicely. And of course, it'll get the job done is what I meant. And of course, you'll smell very fresh and ozonic. It's got violets, green notes, woods, bergamot, flowers, musk, ambergris, cedar, and lemon. So it is ozonic, even though it's they're calling it violets. I'm getting a combo of the flowers of the violets in addition to the violet leaves. So you've got this powdery ozonic effect happening with green notes and woods and flowers and citruses. And it's super cheap. It's 100 ml for $16. Yeah, it comes off a bit synthetic, but I think it's definitely going to do the job if you're looking for a bottle of Paul Smith Men, and you can't find it for around $30 anymore. But moving on to the house of Davidoff, it's Cool Water Intense. And Cool Water Intense is a great cheapie for 100 ml, $35. So basically, mostly what they have is a lot of amber. They have mandarin orange for the juiciness, the sweet citrusy touch. And then you've got this creaminess from coconut. So in the end, It doesn't act too much like the original Cool Water. They're basically capitalizing on the name and giving you a flanker that doesn't smell too much like it, but it acts like it because it acts a bit beachy as well, with that creamy smoothness of the coconut, the freshness and sweetness of the mandarin, of course the amber in the base. So it's a great fragrance to wear with a little bit of substance if you want something maybe beachy, tropical, and also ambery and citrusy. You can pull for something like this. So it's Davidoff Cool Water Intense 100 ml for $35. Then we're going to the house of Mauboussin. This is an Histoire d'Homme Irresistible. This one right here. Are you familiar with this fragrance? This is a super awesome fragrance. When it first launched, I found a bunch at a discounter, and I did a video and it sold out. Now it's thankfully back at the discounters, and 100 ml for $23. Totally great. If you're looking for something green leaning with citruses and woods, very creamy, smooth sandalwood here. We've got fig leaves and bergamot. I think it's a great spring and summer fragrance. It's got the depth of the woods. The sandalwood is definitely there. It's got the freshness up top of the bergamot. It's juicy, sparkling. It's a bit effervescent. You've got the greenness of the fig leaves here. It's a great, great fragrance for $23. I think it totally is something that you should have in your collection if you're looking for something quality that doesn't break your bank. You can buy 4 of these and end up with 4 fragrances under $100. Some of the fragrances on this list, or anything around this price point, but I highly recommend Un Histoire d'Homme Irresistible from the house of Mauboussin. A great fragrance for summer, spring and summer. And then we're going to the house of Azzaro. It's Pour Homme Cologne Intense, this one right here. This one's also pretty quality. I bought it full retail when it first came out, but now it's 100 ml for $30. So it's quite great for the quality that you get. $30 is not that much. So you're getting a pretty quality fragrance from the house of Azzaro, featuring citruses like lime, there's lavender, and there's mastic resin. So in the end, it's a juicy, citrusy fragrance, but utilizing lime that doesn't necessarily come up quite frequently. So lime, lemon, bergamot, they all smell different, but in the end, it's a citrus. But here we are, utilizing lime with lavender, and you've got this kind of a very clean, resinous note called mastic in the dry down, creating this very unique ambery effect with a woodiness, but not necessarily overly, deep and rich. So you can wear it very fresh, and it's quite invigorating with the lime and the lavender there with its aromatic touches. So that is a great fragrance from the house of Azzaro. It's Pour Homme Cologne Intense. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Currently 100 ml for $30. Then we're going to the house of Brioni. This is EDP Intense. Let me know if you're familiar with that. It's 100 ml for $65. And this is a second flanker of that series that was started back during the pandemic. Currently 100 ml 65, and basically they've taken the original ozonic qualities of the original Brioni EDP and intensified it with oud, but removed the violet ozonic touches, and then they've added apples here. So you've got an oudiness, but also something very juicy, drippy. The appley experience, the fruitiness of the apples here are totally noticeable, and they're on the juicy side. So it's almost like biting or crunching into apples, and the juice running down your, hands and, arms and things like that. So it's oud, green apple, ambroxan, saffron, patchouli, vanilla, bergamot, tangerine, pink pepper. Lots of citruses, juiciness of the citruses along with the apples. Creates this watery ozonic effect, even though they're not utilizing ozonic notes, which is prominent in the original. And the oud is also very easy to wear. It's got some depth. It's got some slight funk, but I wouldn't say this is an animalic oud. Just the right kind of oud, a Western oud, easy to wear, mixed in with the juiciness of the fruity apple note. So that's Brioni EDP Intense. Let me know if you're familiar with that. So up next, we've got another new fragrance that's part of my cheapie haul that I'll be doing soon. This is from Alfred Dunhill. It's Driven EDT. I haven't spoken about this one at all on the channel, and I'm also very, very new to this, but it's 100 ml for $21. And I like this because it's got that ambroxan in the base notes, but it's also got some juicy apple. But there's a lot of woods and grassy notes here. There's teak wood, apples, vetiver, sage, orange blossom, juniper, black peppers, lemons, and of course the ambroxan. It's just a very fresh, citrusy, spicy, spicy fragrance with woods and musky notes in the base. So you've got a really great freshie here to wear with some depth, and along the way you've got the you've got the aromatics and juicy citruses, and also the apples that come in. Really wonderful offering. I'm going to put it to use and see what it's all about. But that's Alfred Dunhill's Driven EDT, 100 ml, $21 currently. This next one is from the house of Mercedes-Benz. It's Club Extreme. I haven't spoken about this one too much, but I picked it up because a lot of people said it's similar to Amen. While I get something very faint reminding me of Amen, but I would call this its own unique thing. It's 100 ml for $36, and I think this one has a bit of substance for wearing in the springtime, so wear it when it's not so warm outside. But it's leather, musk, bergamot, patchouli, mandarin, amber, woods, lotus note, musk, and sandalwood. So it's mostly woody, very spicy. Earthy patchouli comes off quite sexy on my skin. It wears really nicely, and it's got the musk and the leather as well. So it's more of a deeper fragrance rather than something very fresh. So again, if you don't have a problem, wear it any time of the year, but use caution if you like to wear more freshies when it's warm outside. So that's Mercedes-Benz Club Extreme, I should say. And the last fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Victorinox. This is Black Steel, this one right here. Are you familiar with this one? Currently $13 for 100 ml, so cheap. I actually did a video on this and I've featured it in videos. It's a really, really great fragrance for the price. Definitely has some depth and ambery touches, but spicy, smoky touches as well. And of course the pine note that comes in here. Really nice fragrance for the price point. I think it definitely is solid. So it does have a bit of substance in comparison to something uber fresh, but it's smoky pine, Swiss larch accord, leather, black pepper, almond accord, and they did a great job with this one. To me, it might hint at the ballpark of something similar to Bentley for Men Intense, but going in a different direction. So I think the base has that kind of ambery experience, but once you smell them side by side, it's going to be completely different fragrances, but really wonderful price point here. 100 ml for $13. I think it's definitely a solid release. And again, it's a spring fragrance, so you can wear this when it's a bit warm outside and you'll smell fantastic for $13. So that's Black Steel from the house of Victorinox, and that's the list for you guys. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Are you a fan? Have you tried them? Do you buy budget fragrances, or do you stick to some of the more luxury ones and more expensive ones? Let me know your thoughts. Add a comment below. And also, if you add a comment, let me know if you discovered something inexpensive that you love the smell of. I'd like to find out and discover more budget fragrances that are under $100. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. So I do have a bonus option here, and I don't know, those of you in the USA might not be able to get this one, but those of you in Germany, this is one of the best things I bought in a drugstore type fragrance shop in the Mueller store. This is Otto Kern's Signature Extreme. I can't believe how great it is, and for the price point. It's a 30 ml for around 20 euros, which is what I paid, so about $22, $23. Oh man, it's so good. It reminds me of a late 90s to 2000s type of a slightly fougere-like lavendery, warm, spicy fragrance. Maybe hinting at things like Le Male, but not identical. More of the flankers that came after. But it's so good. It smells so good on me. Warm, spicy, aromatic. Reminds me a bit of fougere-like, but an amber fougere. Really, really fantastic, though. If you can get your hands on this, get it. If you go to Germany, because it's a German brand, Otto Kern, you try and find it at the Mueller store or wherever they sell fragrances. I think this is super, super fantastic for the price point. Now I wish I bought a few bottles, because it comes in a box like this. 20 euros for a 30 ml. I just wish they had a larger bottle, but next time I go to Germany, I'm definitely going to snatch up a couple of these because it's totally worth it. But just giving it as a bonus option here in case you can buy one, get it. I think it's totally worth it.